and Vincent van Gogh loved the way ancient olive trees looked so much that he made more than a dozen different paintings of them.
Just because it's cloudy outside doesn't always mean it's going to rain. Only certain clouds, like nimbostratus and cumulonimbus, have drops of water that turn into raindrops.
People stay healthy and grow by eating things like fruits and vegetables. But since plants can't eat food, they count on the sun's rays. The energy from the sun mixes with the water in the air to make food that helps the plant grow. When that happens, it's called photosynthesis.
Johann Sebastian Bach might not have made it to outer space, but his music has. The second concerto from Bach's Brandenburg Concertos is part of the collection of music on board the Voyager spacecraft.
Seeds can grow into plants long after a seed is formed. Would you believe that an Arctic lupine seed, more than 10,000 years old, grew into a flower when it was finally planted? Vincent van Gogh painted his famous painting, The Olive Trees, in 1889, the same year that the Eiffel Tower in Paris opened to the public. Pigs don't roll around in the mud because they want to be dirty. They do it to protect their skin from the sun. Mud is like sunscreen to a pig, and it also helps to keep pigs cool in hot weather.
Johann Sebastian Bach's Brandenburg Concertos were also called 6 concertos for several instruments, because each one was written to be played by different instruments. Back. Ludwig van Beethoven wrote his famous composition for Elise in 1810, the same year that composer Robert Schumann was born.
Edvard Munch painted his famous painting, The Screen, in 1893, the same year that the first Flag Day was celebrated in the United States.
If you lived on Saturn, the classic bedtime story, Goodnight Moon, would have to be changed to Goodnight Moons. That's because Saturn has 18 different moons.
Uranus is sometimes called the blue planet, but its surface isn't actually blue. Uranus looks blue because of the way the sunlight is absorbed in its atmosphere. You might have known that Jupiter is the largest planet in the solar system. But did you know that it's so big you could fit 318 planet Earths inside of it? If you look at Mars through a telescope, you'll see that it looks red. Mars gets its red color from the soil, which is full of reddish-colored iron oxides. If you lived on Mercury, you'd be either really hot or really cold all the time. The side of Mercury facing the sun is more than 700 degrees Fahrenheit, while the side away from the sun is more than 200 degrees below freezing.
If planet Earth were to have a sister, it would be Venus. Even though there is no water on Venus, both Venus and Earth are about the same size, mass, and density.
back.
Pop artist Andy Warhol loved eating Campbell's soup, but he also loved painting it. Warhol made 32 paintings featuring the well-recognized soup cans between 1961 and 1962. The Blue Danube Waltz by Johann Strauss is one of the most famous waltzes in the world. It was because of this waltz that Johann Strauss became known throughout the world as the Waltz King. Artist Andy Warhol wasn't just famous for his paintings, he was also famous for his studio. He worked out of a studio called The Factory in New York City, which had some very unusual wallpaper, aluminum foil, and silver paint. Even though Johann Strauss's composer father wanted his son to be a banker, Johann secretly studied the violin when he was a child and pursued his dream of music.
When Vienna was founded more than 2,000 years ago, it was a Celtic settlement. Today, it is the capital of Austria and home to more than a quarter of Austria's population.